Do you know the kind of greenhouse protecting plants away from coldness? The principle of that is basically strong parts of energy from the sun and the heat cannot go out. Similarly, greenhouse effect is the process how the radiation from the Earth's atmosphere warm Earth into a sustainable temperature for creatures to survive. Without the energy that the sun provides, the average of Earth's temperature would be negative 18 degrees Celsius. Indeed, our Earth has an average temperature of 15 degrees Celsius, with the highest temperature of 71 degrees Celsius and the lowest temperature of negative 89 degrees Celsius. Therefore, how does it occur? The atmosphere contains the compounds of water vapor, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, and chlorofluorocarbons. Allows the sun rays pass through the layer and being trapped in the atmosphere. The more greenhouse gases inside the atmosphere, the more heat are not able to escape. Where they stays in the atmosphere and increases the temperature. However, man-made greenhouse gases are a problem. Human activities increase the rate of global warming. As the human population grows immediately, more places in the landsphere are being occupied.
Deforestation takes place of cutting down trees and turns into several houses, other architects. It means less trees are absorbing excess of carbon dioxide and they stay in the air. Manufacturing industries such factories are extending the amount of carbon dioxide and other gases because of burning fossil fuels. Transportations or any activities that burn fossil fuels that causes air pollution, this increases global warming. The greenhouse effects affect these four categories.
Ocean, weather, food, and health.
First, from oceans. The North Pole and the South Pole of the Earth are melting. These organisms live in these areas lose their habitats. It rises the sea levels, retreat of glaciers, frequency of surf storms, and earlier flooding. Also, there is a decline of fish stocks as ocean's temperature rises. The second victim of greenhouse effect is the change of weather. It makes the weather more extreme with storm, floods, snowfall. There are difficulties for agriculture. The areas of the biodiversity shift, and water supplies are diminished. Lastly, it gives an impact to human health. This is because smog contains ozone particles which should increase rapidly at hot temperature. It causes effects such as heart disease, lung cancer. Do you remember the air issue in UK during 90s? In 1955, London was hit by a severe smog that killed 4,000 and left 100,000 hospitalized. The event led to the passing of Clean Air Act 1956. London then spent decades to keep air pollution under control. Check, this is London nowadays. The amount of smog reduces a lot, as you can see. However, China is facing this problem. Based on CGTN report, authorities have issued a yellow alert for smog, reminding residents to take precautions. 25 cities have announced emergency responses. Including suspension of production in smokestack industries. The start of heating season on November 15 will further increase air pollution. China National Environmental Monitoring Center has predicted that the situation may not improve until November 16. Solid waste burning. Why can't we just stop industries? Numerous of them will lose jobs and cannot support for their lives. This is an imbalance in the community. What can we do then?
Based on Japanese research, for things that you haven't used for 3 days are considered as useless.
Take public transportations, such as buses, bicycles, or walk on foot.
Before we are going to know what is ozone depletion, we need to know what is ozone layer and how it works. Each layer has their role to play. For example, troposphere is where weathers occur. As we know that the sun emits ultraviolet radiations. 98% of ultraviolet radiations are harmful. In spite of ozone trap most of the radiations. Ozone layer works as a shield. How do they defend from the radiations? In the ozone layer, ozone particles are involved. How is ozone formed and destroyed? Once the sunlight hits oxygen molecules, they break into individuals. And they can stay more than 100 years. The ozone is formed with 3 oxygen molecules. When CFC attached to ozones, they react and become oxygen gas. However, the ozone layer is getting thinner. Ozone depletion observed since 1970s. The main cause of ozone depletion is CFCs. The production of CFCs are frequently increasing.
This is when the particles reacted. The reacted particles decompose and diffuse in the air when the radiations hit the particles. CFCs come from the refrigeration equipment. Let's have an experiment. This is the sprayer without CFC. And this is the sprayer with CFCs. As you can see, the substance diffuses microscopically after reacting with CFC spray. So what is the impact of a thin ozone layer? The protection of blocking harmful radiation decreases. It can cause skin cancer and damage our eyes. There is a theory that humans could only last for 3 months. And ozone depletion is happening in the Antarctica. The purple-pink line represents the thickness of the ozone layer. The green line represents the production of CFCs. The Montreal Protocol signed nearly the 1990s, which they promised to reduce the production of CFCs. It is proven that the decay of CFC products heals the ozone layer. What did the civilians do? Factories stopped producing CFC refrigerators. But eco-friendly refrigerators use fans instead of air conditioners. Thank you for Movely.com supporting our media, which gives our images and animations.
Thank you for YouTube video clips, and thank you for all of our members' participations. At last, thank you for your watching. Hope you learned something.